You're lying in bed, it's late, you're scrolling, and there they are again. Someone your age, someone you went to high school with, standing in the driveway of a house in Oakville in front of a brand new GMC Denali that still has the dealer plate on it. Swipe, they're in Tulum, again, for the fourth time this year. Swipe, a kitchen renovation that looks like it belongs on the cover of a magazine. Quartz waterfall island, imported tile, the whole thing. And you're just sitting there, doing the math in your head. Same age, same city, probably a similar salary. And you think the one thing that half of this country is secretly thinking right now? How on earth are they affording this? The math just doesn't add up. Here's the truth. It doesn't add up. Because it was never real. Most of them aren't rich. They are what I call broke in Lululemon. They are not living a wealthy life. They are financing the appearance of one. And in 2026, that trap has swallowed more Canadians than ever before. Welcome to the fake rich trap. Let's start with a number that should stop you cold, because it explains everything you just scrolled past. Canada now carries the highest household debt in the entire G7. Not top 3, not middle of the pack, the highest. According to the latest figures from Statistics Canada and the Bank of Canada, the average Canadian household now owes roughly $1.80 for every single dollar of disposable income they bring home. That is a debt-to-income ratio of about 180%, and it has been climbing for 6 straight quarters. Read that again. For every dollar that lands in the average Canadian's bank account, they already owe $1.80. We are, as a country, spending money we do not have to buy a life we cannot afford. And the people who are best at it are the ones who look the most successful. Now here is where it gets frightening, because a mountain of debt is only survivable if nothing ever goes wrong. And for a huge chunk of this country, nothing ever going wrong is not a plan. It is a prayer. New data from the winter of 2026 shows that nearly half of Canadians carrying debt are living paycheck to paycheck, almost 1 in 2. And I am not talking about people scraping by on minimum wage. I am talking about dual-income households in the GTA and the Lower Mainland, pulling in 6 figures, who could not survive a single missed paycheck. This is the safety net myth. On the outside, they look untouchable. New truck, nice house, great vacations, but underneath, there is no net. There are no savings. There is just a tightrope of monthly payments stretched over a very long drop. One interest rate hike, one unexpected car repair, one furnace that dies in February. That is all it takes. Because when you are already spending 100% of your income to service your lifestyle, there is no cushion left. The entire house of cards collapses the moment reality knocks. And in this economy, reality is knocking a lot. So how do they do it? How do ordinary Canadians build these extraordinary-looking lives? It comes down to a handful of very specific financial mechanisms. Let me walk you through the machinery of fake rich. Mechanism number 1, the 96-month auto loan. Canadians are obsessed with big trucks and big SUVs, and the dealerships know it. So they stopped selling you cars, and they started selling you a monthly payment. That $90,000 truck sitting in the driveway, almost nobody paid $90,000 for it. They financed it over 8 years, 96 long months, which turns that truck into something closer to $1,100 a month, every single month, for the better part of a decade. That is not ownership. That is a subscription. It is a subscription to a lifestyle they do not actually own, on a depreciating hunk of metal that will be worth a fraction of the loan by the time it is paid off. They will be underwater on that truck for years, owing more than it is worth, all so it can look good in a driveway on Instagram. Mechanism number 2, the HELOC ATM. If they own a home, they have discovered the most dangerous financial tool in the country, the home equity line of credit, the HELOC. When house prices climbed, so did their so-called equity, and the banks were more than happy to hand them a line of credit against it. The problem is how they use it. A HELOC should be treated with terror. Instead, it gets treated like a personal piggy bank. That kitchen renovation? The HELOC. The boat? The HELOC. The 4th trip to Tulum? The HELOC. They are borrowing against the roof over their heads to buy things that lose value the second they are purchased. They are converting the one asset that was supposed to build their wealth into a machine for funding depreciating toys. Mechanism number 3. Buy now, pay later. This is how they finance the small stuff, and it is everywhere now. BNPL, Afterpay, Affirm. You are at the checkout at Aritzia or Lululemon, and a little box pops up. Why pay the whole amount today when you can split it into 4 easy payments? It feels harmless. It feels smart, even. But what it really does is disconnect the pain of spending from the act of buying. A $200 splurge becomes 4 painless little charges, and suddenly a person who could never save $200 is carrying a dozen of these microloans at once, all quietly draining the account they swear they are trying to build up. It is death by 1,000 easy payments. And underneath all of it, powering the entire illusion, is the most dangerous mechanism of all, the one in your own head. It is the psychology of the highlight reel. Here is what you have to understand. When you scroll, you are not comparing your life to their life. You are comparing your reality to their marketing. You see the truck, but not the $1,100 payment. You see the kitchen, but not the HELOC statement. You see the vacation, but not the sleepless nights, wondering how the mortgage renewal is going to work at renewal. You are comparing your messy, unedited, real life, with all its stress and its boring bank balance, against a curated, filtered, heavily indebted marketing campaign for someone else's ego. It is not a fair fight. It was never meant to be. And every time you lose that comparison, you feel the pull to spend money you do not have, to buy things you do not need, to impress people who are just as broke as the ones you are watching. So, let me tell you what real wealth actually looks like in this country. Because, I promise you, it is not what is trending. Real wealth in Canada is quiet. It is almost invisible. Real wealth is a paid-off 10-year-old Honda Civic sitting in the driveway of a modest home with a small, shrinking mortgage. Real wealth does not announce itself. It does not need to. Real wealth is a maxed-out TFSA, growing quietly, tax-free, year after year. It is a healthy RRSP that is actually going to fund a retirement, not a fantasy. It is money in the bank that lets you sleep at night when the furnace dies because you can just pay to fix it and it does not even register as a crisis. The fake rich have a driveway full of payments and a soul full of stress. The real rich have a boring car, a quiet home, and something the fake rich will never have. Options. Because that is what this all comes down to. Freedom over appearance. Every single dollar you spend trying to look like the fake rich is a dollar stolen from your future self. It is a dollar taken directly from your ability to one day walk into your boss's office and quit. It is a dollar taken from the version of you that gets to stop trading time for money. The people you are envying on that screen are not free. They are the most trapped people in the country. They cannot stop. If they stop performing wealth, the whole illusion collapses. And so they are chained to their jobs, to their payments, to the endless treadmill of looking rich, forever. You do not have to play that game. You can win by simply refusing to compete. So the next time you are lying in bed, scrolling, and you see that Denali, and that kitchen, and that beach, I want you to remember something. You are not looking at wealth. You are looking at a bill that has not come due yet. Choose freedom. Choose the boring car. Choose the quiet, growing account nobody will ever like or comment on. Because in 2026, the richest thing you can possibly be is the person who never had to pretend. If you learned something, make sure to like and hit subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.